Hello and welcome to 6 Degrees of Feature Film. Surprise, we're live.
Whoa.
I am Debbie Ocean, also known as Brienne, also known as Miss Movies.
And I am Sandra Bullock, just the person.
Okay, just the person, Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Excellent. I
Mhm.
like that. We didn't think we were going to be live because
No.
there was a problem. I left my laptop at Collider,
Crisis.
so now we're using Ben's laptop. Ben to the rescue. Hashtag Ben to the rescue.
Hashtag 10K for Ben.
I was about to say that. You
Hashtag
stole it.
Paddington 2. Ben was just telling us how he loves
Guys, he
Paddington
just
2.
went off on a tangent. about
Paddington 2.
Paddington 2.
We're
Mhm.
talking about our most anticipated movies of 2018, but
We are.
honestly,
Thank you.
Paddington 2's out. Cinema can end. The perfect
Okay.
movie exists.
Thank you, Ben. I'm very excited to
So
see
cute.
Paddington 2. I'm glad that you are very over the moon about it.
I have a poster.
Wow,
Oh
you
my
are really
gosh.
over the moon about it.
It was free.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's how this show works.
Except not today.
Not today. Normally we take one film and show how 6 other films link up to it. We're going to do that again next week. We're going to do let's do Black Panther next week.
Ooh.
Let's do that.
Okay,
Is
I'm
that
going
gonna
to
work
need
for
to
you?
see it.
Okay.
I'll figure out a way. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll see it. Mhm.
We'll do Black Panther next week, but this week we're doing anticipated films. I put this hashtag New Year, New
New
Films.
movies. Oh,
I was gonna
films.
put movies, but I thought it wasn't gonna fit, and then I'd have to squish it in. You know how that happens when you're
Yeah.
at the end of something and you're like, "Oh, I gotta make this letter little."
Yep.
So
Well,
I
you
put
should've
New Year,
started
New
it
Films.
over a little further to the left.
I didn't. Yeah, I should have.
It's okay. You didn't anticipate it. And we're talking about anticipated movie.
Anticipation. That's right. That's right.
Just like Rocky Horror Show.
So we're each going to give 6 films that are our most anticipated of this year. And also I have some additional shout outs to movies that I'm looking forward to. Apparently the year can end though because Paddington 2 is here. And I'm looking very much forward to maybe seeing it this weekend. So and
Alright.
maybe we'll do Paddington. Somehow we'll link Paddington 2 into Black Panther. Maybe. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna see if I can do
We're
that.
gonna figure out a way. This is 6 fucking degrees, you guys. We figure out a way.
We always figure out a way.
Always.
All right. So Stacey, what's up with you? How are you? What's going on before
I'm
we get
good.
into our movies?
I'm really good. We did something fun yesterday,
We did something fun.
and it was also your birthday 2 days ago,
It was my birthday 2 days ago.
which is wonderful. And we went to
Mhm.
dinner last night. We saw some
Mhm.
shows. We recorded some things. We had a great day yesterday.
It was
I
a
would say.
long day,
long day.
which is why I left my computer at
Yeah.
Collider like an idiot.
yeah.
And so gonna have to go get that. That's not a quick
It's not
drive.
a quick jaunt, you
No.
guys.
And so now I'm like, oh, I wasn't planning on doing that today.
When you called me, but you
Mhm.
should have called me at like 9 a.m.
I
And
I
then I
didn't
could've
notice.
just gone over.
I didn't
No,
notice.
it's okay.
But I am glad that my computer is locked because I was afraid that Christian would get on my Twitter and tweet out as me because he does
He would
that.
do that.
He
would
does
do
that. And I was like, thank goodness. I beat you.
Mhm.
Okay. But yeah, we were there and we went out to dinner at the Smokehouse real late. It was a late dinner.
Yeah, good dinner though.
The Smokehouse is where they filmed La La Land.
Cool.
And so this is the first time I've been to the Smokehouse in a really long time.
It was like red leather
Mhm.
booths, and it made me feel like a 40s gangster girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely.
I liked it. I was like your 40s gangster girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you're
you,
like
me, Rachel
Big
Cushing,
Baloo. hmm
and Nick Scarpino.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nick
And
Scarpino.
he paid for a meal. He
That
didn't
was
even
so
let
nice.
us look at the bill.
What was really nice is both Stacy and Rachel were like, "No, Nick, you can't do that." Hey, there's my husband. And then I was like, thanks, Nick, for doing that.
He tried to be sneaky, but then he ran into the chair. And Brian immediately was like, "Thanks, Nick." Like, didn't even.
Because I know
tonight.
it's a business
Yeah,
dinner.
It
It's a
is.
business dinner.
Write
We
it
were
off as a
definitely
business
talking
dinner.
business.
we were.
Talking about you going up to San Francisco to be on a show.
Yeah.
Talking about
yeah.
Rachel going up to San Francisco to be on a show.
Tweet at Nick and be like, "Hey, I heard Stacy's coming on the show. It sounds good." I don't even
Yeah.
know what the show is. There's like a million things they do. Something about being
Yeah.
funny. I don't know.
Ben, if you were at dinner, you could have been invited too, but you decided
You
not to
didn't.
come out.
Yeah, you
I
didn't
thought I
come
had a
out.
job interview, then realized it's next Tuesday. So
Oh,
You're a loser.
I mean,
You're
yeah,
a big loser.
I've had a couple of weeks, Stacy.
Which is why 10K for Ben will never happen.
All right. Let's get into our movies now.
Okay.
Had some good discussion. I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed this very much. Also, wanted to give a shout out to Boomerang and the fact that Nick doesn't really know how to do Boomerang.
He sucks at Boomerang, you guys. He can never capture the moment, and I captured 2 moments perfectly last
You
night.
did. You did.
One
I saw
looks
those.
pretty naughty.
That's true, but
Looks a
I don't
little
know.
naughty.
Oh,
But
well.
I like it. I like it. I don't
Check that out on your
mind.
Instagram.
Yeah,
stories?
at Stacey O. Howard. Not my stories. It's
Okay.
a post.
Okay.
There's my two most recent posts.
Mm-hmm.
One is blowing out the candle. Another, you're gonna have to look.
You will. All right.
Okay.
I don't
All
want to
right.
look. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to get into our 6 anticipated films of 2018. A lot of times when we do Q&As, either on Twitter or on this show or whatever, people always ask, what's an anticipated film or your most anticipated film of 2018? And every time I'm like, I hate this question because I usually am only like, what's in theaters right now? Like,
Right.
I really only know what's in theaters right
Open
now.
up Fandango and be like, oh, cool, this is playing. I'll see
Because
that.
I don't keep up with like what's coming out unless like I've heard about it for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm always like, oh, why did you ask me that question? Now I
It's
gotta
tough.
research.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up. But now I've done it. So that way I can come back to this book that I write things in and then just be like, huh, okay.
I have a
guess
book
that's
just
it.
like that, except the
Mhm.
pages don't say hustle. On
Yeah.
them.
Gotta
Mine are just
hustle.
blank. But I
That's
have
right.
a book just like that.
So,
Scenes
Stacey,
Files.
do you want to start? And do you want
Sure.
to start with your least anticipated and move up to your most, or did you just do a randomized list?
I would say that my list it's kind of randomized, but you know what? I'll do 6 through 1. Like it's my number 1 is actually a surprise, I
Okay.
think, or it's different than what you would think. So yeah, we'll start with number 6. I went with A Quiet Place. Okay, for those of you
that does look great.
Yeah. Okay. So it's John Krasinski and
Yes.
Emily Blunt, married
Mhm.
couple in real life, amazing actors on screen, and they did a movie together. And it's like a horror thriller film, and we don't know what is after them. We don't know if they're like monsters or people or who knows, but basically they live in the woods. Something has happened on the planet. And you can hide from the monsters as long as you're really, really quiet.
Mhm.
So that's the whole
That
premise.
looks really good.
And they haven't shown anything or given anything away, and I think it's perfect. And I've seen the trailer like every few weeks, and I'm like, the movie. I don't
I
know
have
what
a
it is.
lot of questions.
Okay.
A lot of questions
So
about
many.
this because it's like, what about when your kids were babies? Where you must
Yeah,
have
they have
come
to
here
cry.
later. There's no way people could be silent.
I bet that they were. It probably happened
I
like
have to know.
after their kids were like 4 or 5, and they could understand like you need to be quiet. And if the kids saw something happen and then they were scared,
guess
they
I
would
haven't-
be
I
scared to
just-
be quiet.
I don't know why they're there. I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
how they got there.
I
I
don't
just
know.
don't. I feel like with kids, it's real high stakes.
Yeah.
Real high stakes just
Yeah.
to get
Well,
them to
that
be
one
quiet.
fucking dumbass kid knocked over the thing, and then in the trailer, and then then you realize, oh, they're hiding from like monsters. I don't know. There's claw marks everywhere, but you don't know. It could
Mhm.
be. I don't know the history.
I don't either.
That's why it's anticipated for me because I'm so curious.
If we were in this situation, would you like
I would die. I can't
have
be quiet.
surgery to remove your vocal cords, like so that way? Well, I can't talk. Just can't do it.
But you make noises in other ways.
do.
So I
You
wouldn't
do.
do that. Also, I feel like obviously they're kind
Hmm.
of isolated and alone. I doubt any surgeons are around. So I don't know if you could do
I
that.
don't know anything about this
I
in
don't-
terms of like how the logistics work, but
I
it
don't know
looks
who
frightening.
directed it. I don't
I
look
want to
into
see it.
Yeah. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, which I believe is coming out November 2nd. But we've already seen a trailer for it, and I'm like, what? It's very early to be showing us a trailer at Christmas time for a movie that's coming out next Christmas, especially for children, because I feel like this is kind of marketed towards maybe a, 4th grade, and up. And I really enjoyed as a kid the Nutcracker. There was an animated version of the Nutcracker that came out, and I have no idea when it came out, but I really liked watching that. I remember watching it on VHS often, and I just feel like it's time to bring it to life. And I'm really excited for this. I liked the beginning of the trailer. It gets a little bit much towards the end, but I feel like as
That's
a
also
whole,
the Nutcracker. It gets a
that's
little
true.
bit
It does
much.
get a little nudge.
Ben, what
Have
is
you
it?
seen the ballet, The Nutcracker?
I
Either
have.
of you?
Oh, I
Okay,
love it. I
okay,
go every
yeah.
year.
I
I was-
feel like after this one part, it's like we're just kind of. It's like the hodgepodge of what are we
It is.
doing?
It's
Yeah.
nuts. It's little rats running around. I always think of also the awful stage moms. They're like, "You're gonna do the fucking Nutcracker, Christine," and she's like in a rat costume. She's like, "I don't want to do this." I remember every year, like the tour would come and they'd go to all the dance studios and say you
Yeah,
can audition,
right.
and I got it, but then I didn't end up doing it because I was like, I don't want to be a rat. It was like the only part that the kids could do.
The Nutcracker Prince
Yes.
is an animated movie that came out in 1990.
Okay, that's
Oh.
probably it.
Yeah.
That would make
The
sense
year of my
in
birth.
terms of time. And then also the other thing with the Nutcracker, who else does one is Walt Disney has one with like Mickey and Minnie and I think it's like Scrooge McDuck. And it's really cute. It's in one of their compilations. Like I feel like it's like Snowed In at the House of Mouse or something like that. I can't
Mhm.
remember. Maybe Ben, you can find this. I don't know, but it's like I think it's called Snowed In at the House of Mouse. Just look up House of Mouse and see which one looks Christmas, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, Christmas at the House of Mouse. I don't know,
Sure,
but
sure.
it's in there. It's in there.
Mickey's Magical Christmas, snowed in at the House of Mouse.
Yeah. See, hey.
All right.
I was
All
halfway
right.
there.
She
Halfway
knew
there.
it. She knew it, you guys. My number 5 is also the Nutcracker and the Four Rooms.
Oh,
I
hey.
had that. That was my
Okay,
next
okay,
thing. So
good,
we can
good.
continue to talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I only have seen the image of Keira Knightley as like the Sugar Plum Fairy or
Yes.
something,
Mm-hmm.
or she's like
And the
all in
young
pink.
girl, gosh, I feel like I've seen her a lot of. It's not Lily James, but it's the other one that kind of
No,
looks
she
like
was in
Lily
Cinderella.
James. I know. I've forgotten. This is what happens, Ben. We're gonna really rely on you're our crutch today because it was a long night. I'm sorry, I got really distracted.
Mackenzie
Mackenzie
Foy.
Foy. Oh, thanks,
Oh,
Elise.
she was.
Yes.
She played the child of Edward and Bella in the last Twilight movie.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look
Deep
at
pull.
that.
Deep.
That is
pull.
a deep pull.
Mhm. She's so
Do you remember
beautiful.
the name of the child?
Renesmee.
Yes, good.
So dumb.
That's a good
God,
trivia question. Renesmee.
So dumb.
That'll
It's
that'll never
Renee
be
and Esme. Renesmee. So stupid.
That is something
I also
Twilight
had
would
the
do.
chat open and I just saw myself go, and I look so like childish, like, nah, I don't like it. I'm done. Okay.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker.
You
I'm
did
excited.
so you got in, but then you didn't do it because you were a rat.
Yeah.
You were
'Cause
like,
then I
I'm
was
not
like, I
gonna
don't
be a
wanna do
rat.
that. And also you have to have like rehearsal every
Yeah,
day after
it's a
school. And
lot.
I
It's
already
a
had a
lot.
lot going on. So I was like, no. And also my mom was probably like, I'm not taking you to practice.
I never did dance lessons growing up, so I
did.
never got the chance to try out for
But you were
Nutcracker or
on
anything like
dance
that. I was on
team.
dance team, which is different.
But
didn't
how did
how-
you get
like, I
onto
didn't
the
do
team if you didn't know
studio.
how to dance?
I have
before?
natural abilities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had to dance
Imagine if
since I
I
was
actually
3.
trained. Maybe I would be better.
I
Maybe
trained
I'd be a
since I was 3,
ballerina.
and I was like an all right. No, I was pretty good. I won competitions. Like it was like my whole life
Nice,
basically. That and
nice.
4-H, showing animals,
Mhm.
polar opposites. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Mary Poppins Returns. Is that on your
Oh,
list?
It is on my list.
Oh,
That's
what?
my
What number is
3.
that? Okay, okay. Well, let's save it till we get to number 3 then.
Okay,
Why don't we go
okay.
to your number 4?
My number 4 is Sicario 2.
Okay, I don't have that on my list.
Okay. Sicario 1 is one of my favorite movies of 2015. Is that when
Okay.
it came out, or 2014? It was just a great surprise. That I wasn't. I was like, oh, okay, Denis Villeneuve. You know, he's
2015.
done. Yeah, I love Enemy. I love Prisoners. Let's go with this. Just right out of the bat, it was like fucking violent and dark and depressing and very disturbing, and it was everything that I love. And it has Emily Blunt, so a great female lead who ends up being almost like a secondary character because of other characters that come in and the way the story goes. And I liked that. You just kind of see her perspective on what's a much bigger, situation going on within the film. So it was amazing. Have you seen Sicario?
I've seen Sicario. Love that dinner scene.
Yes.
Probably one of the most tense things I've ever
Yes.
seen. I'm glad that my
Benicio
dinners
del
are not like
Toro.
that, although my kids get real hostile
Oh.
when it's not what they would like to eat.
Mm.
And then they just protest by not eating.
That sounds like me. This mac and cheese is not to my liking.
Oh, goodness.
I say at Granville because they serve mac and cheese.
I am looking forward to Sicario too. Like, I will see it. It's
Mhm.
just not one on my list of 6.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So I'm taking it. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your next one?
My next one, let's see. Let's
It'd
go to
be-
4. A Wrinkle in Time, which is coming
Oh.
out soon.
Yeah.
Next month. I read the book, but I remember the cover of the book growing up and
What was the
thinking that
cover?
looks interesting. I feel like it was I want to say a Pegasus. Yeah, a
Oh, okay.
Pegasus was on there.
Yeah,
or
because
like a
they ride a
unicorn?
Pegasus. It's
Okay,
Pegasus.
so a Pegasus and maybe a watch. I can't remember now. It was like bluish. Anyway, I thought it looked like a good book. I just never
Mhm.
read it. And looking at the trailer, I think, oh, this could be a really nice sci-fi Disney film.
Mhm.
What's the last one that's like a family sci-fi Disney? Tomorrowland? Was that
I
probably the
guess,
last
and that
one?
kind of failed financially.
But that also wasn't based off of a book, so maybe this will have more success because a lot of people have read it.
I've never read the book or heard of the book.
Oh,
It's
I
a
didn't know.
it scared me as a child.
Oh,
Also
tell
Ava
us.
DuVernay. Well, it's like it's got a lot of like creepy elements, especially in the beginning, because the
Mhm.
kids kind of like, "Where's my dad?" and there's all this mysticism happening. Just as a very
Yes.
young child reading the book, I got freaked out. But Ava DuVernay is a really good director, so I have faith in that.
Mhm.
She did Selma.
Yes.
Yes, she did. I'm looking forward to it.
Mhm.
I feel like
Oprah. I
Op-
mean,
Oprah's in it.
Oprah.
Mindy
Reese.
Kaling, Reese Witherspoon. That's hilarious that Reese Witherspoon and Mindy Kaling are together because she had the Reese Witherspoon thing going on her show. I
Also,
bet
let's
she
not-
brought her one.
Let's also not forget Best Chris Pine.
Best
Chris
Chris.
Pine. Are you a Pine nut?
That's arguable. That's arguable.
Oh, it is arguable, but I
Mhm.
stand by my position.
I'm Evans, as we all know.
That is the
Mhm.
best other option.
I guess
I respect
I'm,
that argument.
Hemsworth.
I guess I'm Hemsworth.
Hemsworth's a
Pratt?
good option too, not Pratt.
I would put Hemsworth over Pratt only
Yeah.
because I'm mad at Pratt right now because him and Anna are getting divorced and
What about Ashton
sad.
Kutcher? Isn't he technically a Chris? He's technically a Chris.
wait,
Yeah.
what? No.
Isn't that his first name?
If he doesn't go by
I
it, he's
had
not
no
a Chris.
idea.
What about Topher Grace? I'm really
like
grasping
Chris
at straws
Topher?
here. Yeah, that's his name.
Really?
Oh,
yes.
Is that, and then he did Topher as like a nickname? or something?
Yes.
That's smart
What
of
ab-
him because no one would know. Oh, Chris Grace.
What about
Sounds
Jesus
weird.
Christ?
Okay, now we're really. I
Cristo.
mean, that's number 1.
Jesus Cristo.
Okay. All right. So let's get moving on.
Okay.
Moving on from Wrinkle in Time.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Okay.
I think we're going to Mary Poppins.
We're
now,
going to Mary
right?
Poppins because Mary Poppins is on one of yours. So
It
Mary
is.
Poppins.
Mary Poppins returns. Now, I love Julie Andrews. I love the original Mary Poppins.
Mhm.
And I'm totally fine with revisiting that world
Yeah.
because I know that other people are probably like, I don't want to go back. But I do. There's more books.
go
There's more Mary Poppins books that we could explore. And they probably didn't do that. Well, they didn't do that back in the day because they didn't have the money to necessarily like, let's franchise this. Nor did they think in that way.
They didn't think about like let's do like
Yeah,
sequels and stuff. They're just like
exactly.
let's do another movie
nice
with the
movie.
same people.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
use the same cast.
I don't feel like I have any ties to like, oh my gosh, I wish it was Dick Van Dyke that was still in this movie or Julie Andrews or any
I
of those
don't have
people.
any of those
So
thoughts. Yeah.
I'm totally
just
open
love
for
Emily.
this. I love her too. Will she
She'd
be
the
singing?
perfect. I don't
Do
know.
we know if this is a musical?
Can she sing?
Lin-Manuel
Yeah, no,
Lin-Manuel
she
Miranda's
did
in it.
Into the Woods.
It's definitely
okay.
a musical, so yeah.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Emily did Into the Woods, so she can sing. I love her as a person and as an actress.
Mhm.
I'm excited. I feel like she would be the only current actress or one of the only ones that could do it and fill those shoes and not be like, oh, you're trying to replace an icon. It's more like,
Mhm.
oh, you're just the next icon.
The
maybe.
next one.
She's
yes.
the next icon, you guys.
I like it.
What's your
There we
next
go.
one?
My next one is Bohemian Rhapsody, which is coming out on
Oh.
Christmas. And I'm really interested in this because of the guy from Mr. Robot being the
Yeah.
lead.
Mhm.
And I never know how to say his name. So, whatever. I'm not even going to try. Maybe I will
How
try.
do you-
Rami
Sure.
Malik.
Sure.
I'm going with that. That's what I'm going with. I'm looking forward to it. I know that there's some turmoil on set This project has been in the works for quite some time. Like originally, Sacha Baron Cohen was going to play the lead.
Which he's too tall. He's
I
like
mean,
6'4" or
we could do
something.
forced perspective of some sort.
I know, but
But-
I feel like he's too tall. But he may be able to pull it off
Mhm.
because he can sing.
He
We know
can sing.
from all the musicals he's been in, and he looks like him kind of. But you know how like the video leaked about him doing the live or AIDS live concert,
Mm. I
and
haven't
he
seen
looked.
that.
Oh, you need to watch it
Okay,
immediately. You'd
okay.
be way more anticipated for this film because what's his name? What's his name?
Raimi,
Raimi. I just forgot.
Rami.
I forgot what
Rami?
Rami Malek.
Rami.
like ramen.
Like ramen. Okay.
Sure.
Rami,
Rami Malek.
Rami, and Michelle.
So
High school
uh,
reunion.
Freddie did like that famous, live AIDS. They were like raising money and he was in like jeans and a white t-shirt. And it's like a famous performance of his apparently. And Rami recreated that and they showed the video like side by side of them and it's like amazing. Someone like leaked a little video of them recording that. It looks incredible. Like he totally
I'm in
encompasses
for it.
Freddie.
I'm very excited. Queen is one of my favorite groups.
Nice.
Led
nice.
Zeppelin, number 1.
I don't have any
Queen,
favorite
Van
groups.
Halen, shortly after.
Queen's so
Spice-
good.
Yeah,
Spice
so
Girls.
good, so good. I want to break free. I like that song. And then they used it in a Coke commercial, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll buy some Coke. Thank you. Raimi Malik. Raimi.
Raimi.
Like do re
Do,
mi.
re, mi.
Right, Neil? Do re mi.
Did you know the hand signs from choir or from singing? Do re mi fa sol la ti do.
I don't
have to
remember
hand
that.
sign.
I don't remember that.
When we would do sight reading,
Mhm.
where you look at a piece of music you've never seen and you have to do all that.
I
and
can't do that. I
the-
can't read music.
It's tough.
I've tried it for many years.
It's tough.
Many years.
I don't.
All right,
I only got competition.
back
once.
to you, my friend.
Oh, my next one would be Ocean's 8.
Yes, that's
That's
actually
your-
my next one
Oh,
too.
nice.
That is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. So in the number 2 spot for you.
Yeah.
What?
Whoa.
Oh
Same
my
number
gosh, I'm
two.
so excited for
Same
Debbie
number two.
Ocean.
I'm excited for this because it's an almost all female cast of incredible actresses. We always love that, and I feel like people think of that as like, oh well, that's its gimmick, that's its thing. It's like, oh, it's all female. That's the only reason why people want to see it. And it's like, no, it looks
No.
fucking great. It looks hilarious. It's probably a lot of fun. It's probably gonna be fun to watch as an individual by yourself and with like a group of girlfriends or like with your husband or whatever. Like, it's gonna be a good time at the movies. It's probably a great script and fast paced. Like, let's get this done.
So looking forward to
Yeah.
this, mainly because of the cast that they have
Yeah.
together. I wish I could be friends with all of them. I wish I could be
Yes.
in this movie.
Oh,
I don't
to
have
be
the
like a
acting
set PA.
skills, so I can't do it that
You
way.
have the chops. You do.
It's rusty. It's
I've
rusty.
never seen you
There's a
act,
time
so I
where I
can't
did
say that with
act. But now I don't do that anymore. I host.
and you're
this
damn
show.
good at it. I had a dream that it was like an episode of House or like
Uh-huh.
Law and Order, and you had gotten like a bit part on it. You played like a teacher or something. And
I
they
could
were-
play a teacher.
Yeah. And
could
I was like,
definitely play a teacher.
Breeze made it. She's on
Yes.
House.
I was the dance teacher in Fame in
Whoa.
middle school.
Whoa.
I will say that. I will say that.
Wow.
That was my big part. Randall Sands, we're talking about Ocean's 8 because we love the ladies. And
Yeah.
I also love con artists and heist films. And
Me
that's
too.
combining all the things I love.
Yes.
I
I
do
like
know.
when people do things that are illegal, but they're charming, so the audience doesn't hate them and look at them like
No,
criminals.
They're anti-heroes.
You're cheering them on.
And they're going to be like heisting fashion like the
Yeah. Oh yeah,
sorry.
they're like stealing the New York Met Ball.
Yes.
something.
Who
That's
would
fucking
not-
genius.
This is all about what I'm going to be seeing
Oh.
and excited for.
That's the perfect premise for this
Yes.
film. For
all
those
the
ladies.
fashion is going to be incredible.
Oh, it's gonna be like Sex in the City too.
Only way better.
Only way
because that-
Because that
Those
was all about,
movies
like,
were
the
not
fashion.
good.
No, they weren't. But in the first movie, the introduction goes, and then she's walking down the
Mm-hmm.
street with a dress, and then that was the whole thing. Was like, it's not a great shot, but like she's wearing some dress with a flower, and it's by I don't know, Alexander Wang or whatever. And these girls like,
Mm-hmm.
great dress. Like part of that show and part of the movie was like the fashion.
Yes. It was
Yeah.
its own character, its own
So
set piece.
that's going to be in this movie too, and I'm very excited.
I'm very excited as well. What's your number one?
My number one is a bunch of movies combined because I just feel like we should group all the Marvel movies together. It'd be
Sure.
hard to put them in order,
Okay.
and also a lot of other movies couldn't get on my list if I made them individual.
Gotcha.
So Black Panther,
Yes.
Ant-Man and the Wasp,
Yes.
and then Infinity War. Those three are
Okay,
together
okay,
for me as
wow.
far as I'm anticipating these the most.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Mhm.
I don't have those on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I have them. I have Ant-Man and the Wasp and Black Panther in my like honorable mentions of things that I also am very excited for.
I have
I'm very
honorable
excited
mentions.
for.
Can I mention
Yes, we
those?
will mention those.
Okay, all right.
And so I'm excited. I'm a little fatigued of superheroes, but I like that with Black Panther, we're getting something very different.
Mhm.
I also like with Ant-Man and the Wasp, we're finally getting a female character in the title role in the, title
Mhm.
itself.
Yeah.
Which is big.
Yeah. From
Um,
Marvel, because we got it with DC with Wonder
mhm.
Woman, so that's good.
I also like in that trailer how he takes the building, shrinks it, and then like makes it like a little carrying bag because that's kind of what I used to use as a teacher. I had one of those boxes.
Oh.
But I do worry about like, are there people in the building? Is everything sliding? Or is it just like
Yeah, you
frozen?
could, like,
and it's like,
jumble-
okay. I don't know. That kind of worries me.
Yeah. Yeah.
My number one is something that probably no one has on their list. Have you seen a documentary called Marlin Call?
No.
Okay. A documentary called Marlin Call came out, I don't know how many years ago. I want to say between 2010 and now. So in the last 8 years,
Okay.
this documentary came out. It was on Netflix. I don't think it's on Netflix right now. In fact, I looked for it recently because I saw that this was something that's coming out. This is coming out in November 21st, and Steve Carell is going to be the main character. So Marwin Call is basically about this man. Here's the basic premise.
Okay.
He suffers this trauma and he forgets, like he loses his memory. But then all these memories start coming back to him and he plays them out in like this miniature set, like with miniatures, like with Barbies. It is the most fascinating thing I have ever seen. There's a whole like he calls the town that he creates Marwin Call, and everyone that he knows has like a piece, like you are a doll to him. And in Marwin Call, maybe you and him are married, but in real life, you're not married. But these are the memories that he has that he's playing out on with these
So
dolls.
this was a real life documentary. So this is a
Yes.
real man. So now they're making a movie based on that real man.
Yes.
What?
And like just how it's using this to rediscover who he also is because he doesn't know, like he lost all his memories.
That's crazy. That's a crazy premise. I like
It
it.
is.
It's weird enough that I'm
Mhm.
very
It's
curious.
such a great documentary. Like it's one that when it came out, I remember recommending it to a friend and then who Anderson on the Film Vault. And I think it was like 6 months later, he was like, I finally saw that Marwin Call and it was fascinating. And I was like, yes, let's have more love for Marwin Call. So I'm very sad that it's not on Netflix right now. I don't know why it's not there. Maybe I should write an email. Be like,
You
hey,
should
where's Marwin Call? Why
bring
is
it
that
back.
gone?
There's Steve
Please help
Carell's
me.
gonna do to bring it back.
Text or not text, tweet at Netflix and say, hey, where's Marwin Call?
Yeah.
We need this.
Yeah.
We need this. I don't even think you can like try to rent it on streaming. And
You should.
So anyways,
You should be able to.
if you can though,
Yeah.
find it,
But they should make it that way.
pay for it
Did you have
because
something
it's
to say? Babe?
delightful.
Okay. all right.
Okay. So that's it. Let's go from our 6
Well, wait.
to
but
1, but
do
then
we-
we'll do honorable mentions.
then
How about
we'll
that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So my number 6 through 1 is do I list it all or we're
Yeah.
going back and forth? Okay. A Quiet Place, then The Nutcracker, the Four Realms, Sicario 2, Mary Poppins Returns, Ocean 8, and all the Marvel movies.
All of them. Okay. My 6 to 1, number 6, The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. Number 5, Mary Poppins Returns. Number 4, A Wrinkle in Time. Number 3, Bohemian Rhapsody. Number 2, Ocean's 8. And number 1, Marwin Call.
All right.
And now we can do our honorable mentions. As I said before, Ant-Man and the Wasp and Black Panther are also in my honorable mentions. Go ahead.
I
with
have
yours.
2 honorable mentions. One is something I just saw the trailer for, and I was like, "What the fuck is this about?" Tully.
Yes,
It's not
that's
Sully.
mine too.
It's not the one with the plane crash. It's Tully.
hmm
And Charlize Theron is once again paired up with what's his name, Jason Reitman.
Yes, Jason
Sure.
Reitman.
Same people that did Juno and that did
Mhm.
Young Adult, which I love Young Adult so much. So I'm excited for that. And I don't know if we've seen Charlize Theron as like a mom a lot in film. In fact, I
Yeah.
can't think of any
Mm.
instance where you see her in like a motherly. She's always like solo or a badass or a murderer or an atomic blonde kicking cool girl or whatever. But this is like motherhood. I
Yeah.
haven't seen her as such, so that looks exciting. My other
I'm looking forward to that too.
honorable mention is going to be Disobedience,
Oh,
which
I haven't. I don't think I've heard of this.
I don't think it comes out till March, but like it's been released like very sparingly, so I count it as 2018. Rachel Weisz and Rachel McAdams play forbidden
right,
lovers
yes.
in a very religious community. I didn't watch the trailer. I don't exactly know the details, but I know that I love those 2 women. I love that subject matter. I think it's very important to
Mhm.
show that on screen, and it looks pretty dope. I'm excited for it. Might be a good little indie film. Who knows? What's your honorable mentions?
I also have Tully because
Okay.
watching that trailer, I was like, oh my gosh, that's my life. That's what I remember being in
Oh,
for
man.
a long time. I also have Incredibles 2 because I'm like, oh, it's been a long time since The
Yeah.
Incredibles, like
Yeah.
over 10 years. So I'm looking forward to seeing what is next for that family. I'm interested in the next Mamma Mia, actually. I'm really surprised that I am because the first one was really bad. The first one was really
Oh, my
bad.
mom loves Mamma Mia.
This movie's gonna make me cry, guys.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just
Because
looking
I saw
forward
the
to
original
it.
with my family so many times that like even though I know it's not a good movie, I was
Mhm.
too young originally to recognize that. So now
Yeah.
I'm like, we're going back to her past. We're meeting the guys as like when they were younger.
Yes.
This is emotional.
I am looking forward
I
to
haven't seen the
this.
trailer.
I'm
So they're
looking
younger.
forward- Yes,
They're
it's
not
going
using the
back.
same actors?
They
Well,
are and they aren't.
The premise
back and forth.
is that Meryl Streep's character has maybe passed away. We don't see
think
her,
so.
so that's what the implication is. And then her daughter, Amanda Seyfried,
Mhm.
is kind of like they're sharing the memories of her mom with her, and so she's learning about like what her mom was like when she was her age
Oh,
because she's
okay.
pregnant. Amanda Seyfried's
Mhm.
pregnant. It's like, oh my gosh, my mom did this all on her own, and like let's
Mhm.
flash back to that. Let's flash back to that time.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And Lily James plays Meryl Streep's character,
Oh.
young Meryl Streep's character.
Okay. Good for Lily James. She's getting some. She's
Yeah,
getting some
good
big
girl.
moves. Big pull. Good girl. Good girl. What's another? Tell me. Tell me.
I put the 1517 to Paris, which just came out. So I'll be watching that. I'm just
don't-
interested in the idea that it's real people that are doing
Like non-actors.
yeah,
that are-
non-actors.
Terrible
That it just interests me.
I just think it's
Terrible gimmick.
pandering. And I don't like all of. It's Clint Eastwood, right?
Yeah, who's
I-
the worst choice for that idea? Because he directs
Yeah,
fast.
he
doesn't
does.
do a lot of
He
takes,
does.
and using actors who aren't experienced with a
Yeah.
director who doesn't use a lot of takes is like the worst combination I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Probably.
I just don't. I feel like
It's
his
just
last few
interesting
movies
to
have
me.
been like, ooh, rah rah America, and
Sure.
I'm not into that. I
Okay,
don't. I
okay.
mean, I don't like that as like. I'd rather look at us in a real light. I don't like it.
There's a Christopher Robin movie that's coming out in
yeah.
August, but I feel like
Margot Robbie.
Goodbye, Christopher Robin. That already came out. So I'm like, what is this
Oh.
one? It's another one.
So it's not the Margot Robbie
Yeah.
Donald Gleason one.
Yes. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was confused, but I was like, is this the one that I've been seeing? No.
All
That
I
already
know is
came
that
out.
on my last cruise I took, they have these like trailers that repeat
Yes.
for like an hour before they finally start the next movie. And the Christopher Robin's trailer kept playing, but the sound wasn't on. So all I've seen is images. I have no
Okay.
idea what they said, what it's really about. I guess some kid is sick and there's a red balloon and they pop it and they write about the. I don't fucking know. Whatever.
It looks. I watched part of Goodbye Christopher Robin on the plane over to Hawaii.
Oh.
So I do need to finish that. I also need to finish Selena, which I watched at a dry bar.
What?
And I saw like the first part of it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is really
Selena's
great!
fucking great.
I need to finish.
I
this."
love Selena. I get you. So you haven't seen the whole movie?
No, I've seen up to the part where they're in her dad's upset because she like wore a bustier
The
and is like,
bustier, the brown little sprinkly things on it. Yeah.
And they're like in their van going to the next place, or
Yeah.
their camper going to the next place.
Yeah, that's a great
I gotta watch the
journey. That
rest.
is
I
a
gotta watch
great
the
movie.
rest.
Mhm.
You looked like you were gonna say
No, I
something.
You
just-
clicked it on
Okay.
and you clicked it
Okay.
off.
Click it on.
So
Okay.
that's it, guys.
That's
Can I-
it.
Can I say some honorable
Yes,
You
mentions?
can
yes,
say
yes.
something. Let's close it up.
What's
here.
Okay.
your anticipated list?
I mean, you guys have covered a lot of things. I'm excited
Okay,
for Black
great.
Panther. The Man Who Killed Don Quixote by Terry Gilliam. Looks
Okay.
really
Whoa,
interesting.
it's gonna be wild. I
Interesting.
bet.
Isle of Dogs, Wes Anderson.
I'm not
Mm.
looking
I
forward
love Wes
to that.
Anderson so much.
I think
You
it's supposed to
you and my boyfriend Ryan can go see that because he won't shut up about Isle
Is
of
it
Dogs.
PG-13? I think it's
Probably.
I
PG-13.
think so.
I just bought
not
two
into
Wes
it.
Anderson movies from the Criterion Collection yesterday because it was on sale.
Well, I do love Wes Anderson, but I just
Yeah.
not into it. I don't know. I don't know
Um,
what it is.
There's
I don't
Mary
care about
Magdalene, which
dogs.
I already mentioned to Stacey.
Mary Magdalene does
which the
look
trailer looks really interesting.
Mhm.
There is Ophelia, which stars Daisy Ridley, and it's Hamlet from the perspective of Ophelia.
Oh, I do like Ophelia.
Whoa,
That is a name
okay.
that I considered
Okay.
for my daughter. But then I
There's-
realized Ophi would be like the nickname, and I was like, no, Ophi.
Or Fee. Just call her Fee. That's
Fee.
a cute nickname. Fee.
Yeah, I also liked the name Fiorella. That was
Fiorella?
another, and that was another one. And then I was like, no, Fifi. I don't know.
There's Widows, which is about
I
4
like
women
those
in
names, though.
Chicago whose crime husbands like all end up dead.
That's a remake of an 80s
Is it?
TV show
Ooh,
in
I'm
Britain.
excited.
Yes.
It looks interesting. It has a lot of good talent in it. There's The Tale with Laura Dern, which is about it's like based on an actual documentarian's life and
Okay.
basically how her documentary investigation, I think, I'm not entirely clear, causes her to reevaluate what she considers like a sexual relationship from her past that actually was like way more problematic.
Hmm.
It's
Interesting.
I don't fully know what the story's about exactly, but I think it's about like
Laura
sexual
Dern.
abuse. Laura Dern.
I love Laura Dern.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really good movies. And
The
like things
Laura
you've said.
Dern Reconnaissance. What do we call that? Dernissance?
Renaissance?
Dernissance.
The Renaissance.
Yeah. I'm excited for those. Those look really good. There's a bunch of other things too. Mortal Engines looks interesting.
What's Mortal
It's
Engines?
like- It's like a post-apocalyptic movie. There's a trailer for it that was really brief. Where cities exist on like gigantic, like they move. They're basically gigantic moving cities,
Okay.
built on engines, and they eat other cities. And like, I don't know.
Huh.
There's a trailer.
Huh.
It looks really interesting.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
I love your picks. Those are
I
really
do.
good picks. then.
Janine has Thoroughbreds with the late Anton Yelkin.
Oh, yeah. I
Aw.
thought that already came out, so I didn't include it on my list, but I am quite curious about it because I love that kind of dark humor, disturbing tone. It looks a lot like the same tone of this indie film that just came out called Like Me. If you guys haven't seen that, I heard it's amazing and a really good young director. It's his first film and he just came out the gate swinging. So anyway, yeah, Thoroughbred seems really cool too. All right, cool,
Great.
awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been 6 Degrees of Feature Film. Thank you for joining us. Next week we'll do Black Panther, and
Yeah.
then we'll link off of that. Somehow we're gonna get to Paddington too.
Somehow,
I don't know how.
I'll
I
but
will
figure it
we're
watch
gonna
out.
do it.
Paddington 2 just for you, Ben.
Yes,
Watch it for yourself.
Okay.
You
mean,
deserve it.
Christ.
we do
Okay.
deserve it.
We
We
do.
deserve it. All that
deserve
marmalade
good
just for
things.
you.
Yeah.
Where can we find you, Stacy?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat at Stacey O Howard. No E, no I, just Y. Ben's screensaver is Paddington. My screensaver is okay,
I'll
you
show
go
it.
and then I'll show mine.
Oh, we know yours is like a Goomba.
It's a
Or-
Goomba. Come on. Look at this cute face.
That face is not cute.
It
Okay,
is.
fine. It's like kind of your baby. You've had that for a long
I
time.
have.
I
about you?
am on Twitter at Miss Movies and Instagram Miss_Movies. And that's
Okay.
all. Next week, you can find us on Movie Fights
Fuck yeah, we're going on movie
against each
fights.
other.
Against
Oh no!
each other.
Oh no!
Guys, this is gonna be the biggest deal ever.
Oh no!
You need to tweet at Screen Junkies right now and say, I heard Stacey and Miss Movies are going against each other, and this will be the most anticipated movie fights ever. Hype it up. Hype it up.
Yes,
I don't
the
I
best
actually
rose
don't know
ceremony
what...
ever.
Yes, yes.
Most
we gotta
most
work
dramatic
on
movie
the most
fights
dramatic season of
ever.
The Bachelor ever.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.